Welcome back to the Top News Channel RF Update. If you find my video useful, don't forget to click like and subscribe. Macron faced disaster when Boris announced a fishing ban. French fishermen boom toppled Macron. French fishermen are exasperated by Macron's failure, a scheme ready following betrayal. Emmanuel Macron is under fire from French fishermen for his handling of the continuing license issue with the United Kingdom. One regional fishing union has even accused him of failing to do his job. Many opinions say, why on earth these French fishermen should expect to carry on fishing as they did before the UK left their EU is beyond belief. When we left, we took back our own waters and then licenses those French fishermen that could show they had been fishing in UK waters when we were a part of the EU. Any of them that couldn't prove their case were excluded, quite correctly. In a few years, when we take back even more fish ping quotas, they are going to be even more unhappy. The waters are UK waters, no longer a part of the EU, and the French should recognize that fact. Things are not and will not be as it was. Macron will be unable to do anything about it. A person with the nickname Jep said, Bo knew the threat to cut electricity and impose tariffs were meaningless. He had no backing from the rest of the EU despite some industrial strength whining. Promises were made to the fishermen that had no chance of being kept. This is the result. Macron and Bone should have managed the fishermen's expectations instead of giving them false hope. This is pure electioneering. With the greed of French fishermen. According to a source, in response to the British government's acceptance of more fishing licenses, French fishermen have vowed to impede trade ports with further dependence. Mr. Macron has already threatened the UK with sanctions, tariffs on British products, and a reduction in British power supply, all of which the French fishermen feel have been ignored. Before the information about the greed of the French, a reader nicknamed Kiwi said, in 2009 EU officials were forced to confess that 88% of European fish stocks were overfished, compared to 25% elsewhere in the world. Joe Borg, the European Fisheries Commissioner, said at the time, we are questioning even the fundamentals of the current policy. We are not just looking for another reform, it is time to design a modern, simple and sustainable system for managing legislation in the EU. Struan Stevenson, a former Scottish Conservative MEP and fishery spokesman in the European Parliament, called for fishing policy to be decentralised. Meanwhile, France still takes the lion's share from the EU agricultural pot. Another said, they are laughing at the UK Boris, tell you one thing, you aren't a Churchill figure, more like a Stan Laurel. Perhaps, many people are very angry with the Prime Minister's decisions, accompanied by annoyances with Macron. Another reader said, the EU's, France, position was that it demanded that the UK must uphold existing reciprocal access conditions, quota shares and traditional activity of the Union fleet. In other words, it wants full and unconditional access to the UK's waters and its fish, exactly as if the United Kingdom were still an EU member state. This is despite UK being legally decimated by the EU in the 1970s.